Travis Wayne Goodsell. So I was recently linked to a Salt Lake Tribune article. Kalyan Barnett is smashing the mold of a devout LDS woman simply by being herself. And apparently she's a fashion influencer and NBA stylist on the problem with white Jesus, how different the world would be if we depicted Christ more accurately. So apparently she's seen Jesus, she's talked with Jesus, she knows he's not white, right? This is a problem I encounter over and over and over again with all of you. Let me again go over the facts. And once you recognize the facts, you'll realize how ridiculous all these arguments are. 1. The Jews wrote the stories about a man whom they named Jesus the Christ. The Jews, not Christians, the Jews. What you now call the Gospel of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and then there's a whole bunch of others that was rejected by which church? The Mormon Church? Did the Mormon Church reject these? No. They were not Christians. None of them were Christians. Why? Fact number 2. Christianity was not invented, was not created, was not around on the face of the earth until Roman Emperor Constantine, 325 CE. He held a Council of Nicaea in which he forced all of the bishops of congregations to attend this meeting, and they had to become one. They had to become Christian. And in that Nicene Creed, which I did the 2 videos that nobody cared to know the facts, he created Jesus as real. And so it's painters since that time who have depicted Jesus as a white guy. Those painters are whom you need to condemn, because what he did was turn the apocalyptic literature of the Jewish authors, Apocalypse, Revelation, John in his book of Revelation, it's in the Book of Mormon, by the way. Yes, they were all books of Revelation. Even the Tanakh, which you wrongfully call the Old Testament, because the Old Testament suggests that it's about Jesus, the white Jesus. None of it is about Jesus. You can even read Matthew for yourself and learn, if you can comprehend English, because the translation is somewhat close, and so it's not far off from what it's explaining for you. He talks about the genealogy of Jesus, but it's not Jesus' genealogy. It's Joseph's, the stepdad who bought Mary. Oh wait, we don't have that scripture in our canon. Who didn't put it in? Wasn't Joseph. But again, none of it is literal history. None of it. You need to understand how it is symbolic. How it is a type and shadow of a future person who's going to fulfill prophecy. And he wasn't born in the Roman period time. Can you guess how? 1, they gave us dates for the latter days. Some blatantly, as in star constellation conjunctions, and 2, in story form symbolism. But also, there's a pattern you will notice in which the birth is immediately preceded with a skipping of his childhood, skipping of his teen years, skipping of his marriage. He would have gotten married if he was literal history. He would have served in the Roman army if he was literal history. Where are those records? Oh, lost records. Let's develop a theory that can't be tested. The missing documents, the missing portion of the papyri. Right, Mormon apologists? The brass plates, we haven't found them yet, but if they did exist, this is what they'd have. And, yeah, and so, are you starting to catch on now? And if you're wondering, well, does that mean that Joseph Smith is a fraud by putting in Jesus in the Book of Mormon? You missed what I'm telling you. You haven't read your Book of Mormon. What does it say in the beginning? I write this book in the learning of the Jews. It is not Christian literature. It is not another testament of Jesus Christ. It was Benson, while Kimball was on his deathbed, who made that change. And so, yeah, despite the church perpetuating the lie of a historical Jesus during the Roman period, and again, this church has a new twist on it. Constantine? Oh, yeah. We're turning the Jewish literature into literal history, and we're placing this Christian creation out of nothing into the Roman period time. We're revising history to put him in there. Well, this church tries to claim, oh, no, we don't believe in that Jesus. We believe in the Jesus who is actually in the Roman period of time. And he's a man of flesh and bone. He's tangible as man's. No. Constantine did that change. Nelson can't claim to make that change. Dear God. And so, yeah, if you believe these guys at the heads of your religions, you're gonna be deceived. Because you're not acknowledging the facts of history. You're allowing them to tell you what to believe, what to think, how to feel, and then sometimes rebel, as Kellyanne Barnett is doing by smashing the mold of a devout LDS woman simply by being herself. And then you can make the Salt Lake Tribune news, not the Deseret news. No, we don't want that. But it's just absurd. And so when you see these things, you're supposed to go, okay, Jesus is not real. There's symbolism, and it's teaching me about signs, and it's teaching me about prophecies for the latter days. And I need to find out the dates of the latter days, and I need to be watching and looking forward to them. Because guess what? We're in the final last year of them. This is why it's so frustrating for me that you guys aren't catching on. Is because we're almost done with the second latter days. Not the second coming, remember? Constantine changed it. Because Jesus fails to fulfill prophecy. Know the facts. And so you're saying, but Travis, Jesus appeared to Joseph Smith in the first vision. The first vision? The first what? Vision? Oops. You missed it. It wasn't literal history. His visions were just that. visions. He did not start writing a history of the church. He wrote visions. And he tells us at the beginning why. It's because the missionaries were going out and telling people it was the Church of Jesus Christ, that Jesus was real, just like a Christian organization. They were not telling the people that it was Jewish. And so now you're going, well then, what is the Jewish understanding of things? Who are we looking for? Oh, dear God, I want to scream. Again, Joseph Smith, 140, tells us he's a man like Moses, according to the Jewish prophecy. You have to go to Acts, and then Acts will take you to Deuteronomy. But then section 103, verse 16, the big thing that Joseph reveals it for us. He discloses who we're supposed to be looking for. And you don't care. Because I would love to go over all the prophecies. I've done playlists for you on both channels about the prophecies of him and who to look for. Because guess what? He's Mormon. Which means he's going to have Mormon prophecies about him. His birth, he's going to be given a father's blessing. He's going to be baptized at 8. He's going to receive the Aaronic priesthood. He's going to go through the temple to go on his mission. He's going to have a new name. Did you not think that there might be prophecies about this if Joseph Smith is going to say he's going to be a Mormon? And so all of the old writings, all the prophecies are about him because Joseph Smith said so. And I can't talk to you about him because Mormons don't believe. You're arguing over whether Jesus is white or black or Greek or which is olive skin, etc., etc., etc. It's just ridiculous. And so as a result, Mormons don't know their Christ. They don't know who to look for. And like I said, we're in the final year of the latter days. It's getting too late, and the foolish virgins are getting locked out.